The Trump administration appears to have kidnapped the children of as many as 463 immigrant parents. And I do not use that word kidnap lightly. New data showing that possibly as many as 463 immigrant parents whose children were taken from them at the border may already have been deported without getting their children back. The government, by court order, must reunify immigrant families by a Thursday deadline. But here's the thing. The Trump administration is arguing in court that those deported parents have lost the right to reunite with their children. Here to help me understand all this, MSNBC's Jacob Soboroff, who's been reporting on these separations all summer, and former Democratic Congresswoman Elizabeth Holtzman, who last week quit a Homeland Security Advisory Council writing about family separation, quote, "This is child kidnapping, plain and simple." Let me start with you. You listen to the status conference. You've got this lawsuit. Judge orders reunification. Two categories, the under 5 kids. Now you're dealing with a much bigger set of 2,500 kids between 5 and 17. What's going on?
It's actually pretty remarkable to listen to the judge on these status conferences say, you know, how quote unquote deeply troubling the government's role has been here, and there needs to be an accounting. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put the pieces back together for these 2,551 kids right now that, again, reminder, forcibly separated. Didn't have to be this way. We didn't even need to be having this conversation at all. 1,600 of them are eligible for reunification, 1,607. And the government says they're on track to do that by Thursday, the deadline. The catch is, they said today 55% of those people that are eligible for reunification are slated to be deported. They have what are called final orders of removal, 900 of those people.
So, okay, I want to just make it clear. So you got 2,500 people, right? So let's put aside about 1,600 of those. They're saying we're going to reunify them.
They're eligible.
We'll talk about where those other people are. They're eligible, and we're going to reunify them. Half we're going to reunify and say, get the heck out of here.
You're out of here. And the ACLU is just scrambling right now. What they announced tonight, Legal Alert, who you've talked to many times, was saying that they think that 700 of them, or whatever the remaining group is, are all going to be reunited at one place, the Cairns Center in South Texas, at one time over the course of the next few days. ACLU is basically begging the judge for 7 days between the time those reunifications happen and any potential deportations to get them legal counsel so that they can argue their asylum case to stay in the United States. Exactly. And the government's saying, we don't want that to happen.
Okay, then I want to come back to you about what they're doing with these other ones that parents are deported. You wrote this letter and you said it's child kidnapping and I can't be on this advisory council. Why'd you use that word?
Because that's what it is. Because the government has taken parents, children, deliberately away from parents, toddlers, kids who are breastfeeding, young children, and taken them away deliberately. This is for the purpose of deterring other people from coming. It's cruel, it's inhuman, it's depraved, and they did it in a way so that they weren't prepared for family reunification at all. In fact, this only happened because ACLU intervened, reporters reported about it, but the government just didn't care about reunifying these children. If you take children from parents without due process, it's kidnapping, in my view, and under the law.
Okay, so this now gets us to this part that aren't eligible. And this is really, I have a hard time processing this.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
They're saying that 900 or so of these kids,
917, yeah,
they're not eligible. And of that, some big chunk of them are ineligible to be reunified because, whoops, we already deported your parents.
And so if any of them are going to have a chance to stay in the United States, first of all, none of those have to be reunited by Thursday. That's the big carve-out. So the government can say we were successful if the 1607 were reunited by Thursday. Piecemeal, one by one, the ACLU has to basically request and get information and then go through the cases. 463 of the 917, the government admitted tonight, may have already been deported before this court case basically mandated that you had to keep these families together and there had to be a process to work this out. So if you're gone, there is no reunification process. You're gone.
Is this depraved or what? That's what I called it. I said not only child kidnapping, but this is depraved. Government officials have no right to take children from parents. No right, unless a court orders it for some reason of danger to the child.
And to keep them. I mean, if you take someone's kid and you send them back to Guatemala or Honduras or El Salvador or wherever, and you have them, what's the plan? You were just going to take...
They didn't care. These are not human. These children aren't human. They're the wrong color. And the parents aren't human. They're the wrong color. That's what this country has come to under this president. And this is horrifying. I couldn't be on this commission anymore. I couldn't be on advisory council. There's nothing to say to a human being who wants deliberately to take a child away from a parent and has done it and is refusing to return the child to the parent.
It's hard not to feel that way. You know, we were talking before the show that, you know, I got to go inside the facility in McAllen and see the kids in the cages on the floor, and it's truly sickening. And when you hear about the fact that those 463 parents that are now outside the country, their only recourse is to basically go to their consulate in their home country and say, whoops, I think I might have been deported mistakenly because I got an old form. There's a new form now that's given out post this case that basically says you have more rights than you might have gotten on that original form. And that's only because of this case brought by the ACLU. You have got to go to the consulate and basically beg, say, I made a mistake on my form.
One other thing you wrote in here, you said, as the author of the Refugee Act of 1980, along with Senator Ted Kennedy, I believe the treatment of refugees by you and President Trump violates that law and our treaty obligations to refugees. What do you mean?
Many of these people are coming in and claiming asylum.
Right.
Is a penalty for claiming asylum to take your child? The U.S. government has no right to do that. Under our treaties and under our law, they're supposed to treat them in a humane way and allow them to make their application to a court and let the court decide whether they're here legally or not.
And that's part of the bigger picture here, past just child separation, is what's being done to both asylum and refugee law. Jacob Soboroff and Elizabeth Holtzman, thank you both. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.